So the Indianapolis Colts drafted Anthony Richardson in the first round in the hopes that he would become a future starter and perhaps a star with just outrageous arm talent. I mean, he throws one of the greatest deep balls I've ever seen. Unfortunately, that's about all he's really done particularly well so far in the NFL. And Stephen Holder over on ESPN.com thinks that he will likely be requesting a trade. So the Colts intend to stand pat at coach, general manager, and quarterback in 2026 with Shane Steichen, Chris Ballard, and Daniel Jones, respectively, slated to be back in their roles next season. But the Colts will have some upheaval in the months to come. Although the idea that the Colts are running it back has taken hold in recent weeks, there remains the possibility of significant changes. Critical areas from the offensive line to the defensive front seven could be significantly impacted by offseason moves that require some getting used to. The Indianapolis Colts are bound to look different in 2026. Quarterback. The Colts have made it clear that Jones is their starting quarterback when he returns to health. Yes, the Colts will need to sign him to an extension for that to happen, but the parties have expressed no trepidations about the process to date. Jones has an Achilles injury that will require many months of rehab, but the Colts remain undaunted. The question is what happens behind him? That's where it's becoming increasingly likely that 2023 first-round pick Anthony Richardson Sr. will wind up elsewhere. Richardson lost a preseason position battle with Jones entering 2025, and the Colts are openly stating their commitment to Jones for 2026. The Colts have also warmed to the idea the 2025 sixth-round pick Riley Leonard can ascend to their number 2 quarterback spot given his practice performance and his play in the season finale. So where does that leave Richardson? Assuming his vision issues are resolved after his freak orbital bone injury, look for him to seek a trade. There have been no requests just yet, according to team sources, but it's beginning to feel inevitable. As for his trade value, the Colts can certainly recoup something. Each of the following quarterbacks was traded for draft compensation in the past 2 seasons: Kenny Pickett, twice, Sam Howell, Justin Fields, and Taylor Heineke. There's no reason to think that the Colts couldn't get something for a quarterback who would just be 24 next season. So I definitely agree that there might be a market for Anthony Richardson, but I don't know how likely it really is that anyone's going to trade anything big. Maybe at best a 4th-round pick, but he's never really played to the abilities that people thought he could potentially obtain coming in to the NFL in 2023. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But moving on to our next story, when you win the Super Bowl, things are pretty great, but Adam Schefter is reporting there might be a little bit of a downside to it, as the Seahawks are unlikely to use their franchise tag on running back and Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker, per league sources. The Seahawks have multiple free agents that they want to retain and sign, and they'll also try to extend wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba. There are enough Super Bowl tax costs that will now make using a franchise tag this offseason unlikely. So, obviously, Kenneth Walker had a phenomenal postseason, an amazing Super Bowl, big reason why they walked away victorious in that game, and the price might just be a little bit too much for Seattle to franchise tag him, like Adam Schefter said, or even to try to negotiate a contract, because I think he's going to get probably a big payday. I mean, it pays to be Super Bowl MVP, right? So very interesting there. Could be a huge step for Kenneth Walker to develop into the kind of the kind of running back that I think he really is. Then our final piece today is Kirk Cousins had an appearance on the Kevin Sheehan show where he talked about why he's so polarizing. And he said, quote, "Well, we had success. It wasn't 15-2. It wasn't 14-3. It wasn't holding up to Lombardi. If you go 9-8, you're still giving yourself room to be criticized." So that's really been like the Kirk Cousins experience. Good enough to make the playoffs, to have some fun teams, but not quite good enough to get over that hump. So unfortunate for him, but he does seem to recognize that that's who he was. And at the end of the day, he made a shitload of money. So I can't really say I feel too bad for him. I'm sure you don't either, but those are the stories that I wanted to cover today. Kind of a different episode, some short stories, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe. We have new videos coming out all the time here on the channel. And check out our main channel, We Get Everything, as well as our channel, Those Fake Nerds, and our podcasting channel, Better Radio. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.